I left the busy city to spend a quiet weekend on the countryside. I had a little more than 400 kilometers to drive. Everything was going well, and I had traveled about 250 kilometers so far. At about 160 kilometers per hour, I suddenly saw a young goat in the middle of the road. Braking would be pointless, and trying to avoid it would be even more dangerous. I only had a few seconds to think. I just held the steering wheel firm, hoping it would run away, and I crossed my fingers. It did not run to the right direction. It moved right into the middle of my lane, and I hit it. I was in a section of the road where it would not be wise to stop, so I did not stop. I did not see any part of my car fly off, and the car was still performing fine, so I kept driving. Then I heard a loud beep. The instrument cluster signaled low coolant level, and a closer look at the gauges showed that the car was overheating. I turned off the AC and turned on the heater to help cool off the engine a bit before I stopped. It wasn't getting better, so I stopped when I found a spot safe enough to park off the road. I got out, and there was it. The lower part of my front bumper cover was damaged, the center grille got destroyed, the AC condenser and the radiator were severely damaged. Coolant was still leaking to the floor. I was in the middle of nowhere. It was getting late, and I had to think fast. I decided to drive back. I poured some backup coolant I had into the tank and made a U-turn. I wanted to turn the heater on, but the AC blower was not responding anymore. I drove very gracefully, keeping it at very low RPM. A few minutes later, the car overheated again. I stopped, poured in 2 bottles of drinking water I had on me, and kept driving again. This time, the engine bay was extremely hot, and I could smell plastic burning. The car felt like it was about to stall. Severe overheating. No. I stopped the car and started thinking about other options. I did not want to leave it there, and I did not want to pull it to any shop around. I wanted it back home, but I was 250 kilometers away. I could have the car pulled, but the maximum distance the car can be pulled in neutral before causing damage to the transmission is 50 kilometers, so not an option. I had to have the car towed, and tow trucks are only available in the city, which means they would have to come from the city, which would take ages. But I had no choice. I called the only tow truck driver I knew, and after many negotiations, he accepted to come tow my car at the condition I send him the cash for gas at least. Fortunately, I had some cash on me. I walked back to the nearest village and was able to send him what he requested using a mobile money transfer kiosk. Now I have to wait. I called the tow truck driver to find his position. He informed me he hasn't left yet, that he needed to fix a tire first, that he would leave soon. It was dark, and I did not want to leave the car there in the dark, in the middle of nowhere, so I walked back to the car and took the risk of starting it and driving it to the village. I parked it in a safe location, tilted the driver's seat, and slept in the car with the doors locked and the front windows slightly lowered. They are here. Let's tow Patrick. I am not okay with this method, which would likely damage part of my headliner and my door weather strips, but I had no choice. We are in the city, now off the main roads. The portion that leads to my place is a 5 kilometers long, very uneven and rugged dirt road, and the truck driver was worried my car would slide and hit the sides, so he decided to get it to the ground and pull it. 5 kilometers is okay for pulling without causing damage to the transmission. We are here. They removed their cord. I started the car, drove it into the garage, and immediately turned it off. I am relieved the car is now home. To assess the real damage, I am going to have to remove the front bumper and possibly the front lock carrier, but from what I can see, I need a new bumper cover, a new center grille, a new license plate holder, a new condenser, a new radiator with all needed accessories. And I may need a new headliner and the door weather strip because they got damaged when the car was being lifted. The next day, I lifted the front of the car, poured in coolant I procured locally, and started the car to help lubricate the system since I did put in drinking water at some point, which will cause deposits and rust of internal parts like the water pump and the thermostat. I left it run for about a minute and turned it off. Of course, the coolant leaked out, but at least the system is lubricated. Now big expensive projects coming. I just hope I did not cause permanent damage by letting the car overheat to the extreme.